I met Marcos Garza when we were doing radiothons for St. Jude Children's Research Hospital. We needed sponsors to help us raise money, and he's always the first one to jump in. I would describe Marcos and his team as upstanding, someone you can trust, and he is just a genuine guy.
Marcos has been very generous. He has a genuine concern for people. You need somebody that cares about you. And that's what Marcos is, and that's pretty much what this firm is.
The Garza Law Firm. Let us help.
Both by geography and history, Eldora Speedway stands at the epicenter of dirt track racing. Situated in what was an Ohio cornfield near the Indiana state line, the half-mile clay oval lies in the very heart of the Midwest's roaring racing scene, and is host to some of the biggest events on short track racing's calendar annually, events that have attracted the top names in American racing for more than half a century. Eldora can rightly bill itself as the world's greatest dirt track. Under Tony Stewart's management, Eldora has upgraded spectator amenities, safety, and medical facilities while continuing to host signature events like the King's Royal, Dirt Late Model Dream. In 2012, Eldora Speedway added its legacy of groundbreaking events with the Aspen Dental Eldora Dirt Derby, featuring the NASCAR Craftsman Truck Series for the first race on its dirt surface in any of NASCAR's National Touring Series since 1970. Tonight, it's the No Bull Dirt Derby, and it's next on HBR TV. Good evening, everyone. Welcome to Rossburg, Ohio. Eldora Speedway for tonight's Noble Dirt Derby. Practice just about wrapped up. In fact, it is wrapped up here at the Speedway. I'm Steve Singer with HBR TV, joined in the broadcast booth by Eric Dotson. Eric, how you doing? Welcome back.
I'm doing good, Steve. How are you?
Doing well. Single truck qualifying just about to get underway here at Eldora. Let's go down trackside. Brian Rose on the Speedway. We will have 2 heats tonight, 15 laps apiece, I believe. We'll get into our 50-lap feature following that. Certainly a little bit different type of racing we're going to watch tonight. Obviously, we ran a couple of road courses planned this schedule, but one dirt track event, and here we are here at Eldora. Can think of no better place to do it.
Absolutely. This is a fun track to race at, too, so it's going to give some exciting racing.
You know, with all the dirt tracks that you can potentially run on, at least in the truck, I would say if I had to pick one, I'm going to pick Eldora. I know a lot of guys like to go after Bristol and do that kind of thing. I just personally don't think we need to run dirt at Bristol, but here at Eldora, I think this is kind of the home for that sort of thing.
I just think it's a blast here. I mean, you're kind of out of control in the turns, and by the time you get it back wound down, you're going right back into another turn from the straightaway. So it's a lot of fun, a lot of thinking goes into this track, I feel like.
Right now, Drew Blaze fastest at a 20.09. Saw some laps just tickling that upper 18-second mark, but again, track conditions changing has a lot to do with a lot of that. Jeremy Paris now 8th quick at 20.451. Drew Prowl 14th quick on his first lap.
Yeah, you talk about track conditions changing. These guys are going to be all over the track trying to find a groove. As in qualifying, it looks like everybody's kind of running the high groove.
Chris Goins lap 1, 20.566. Little over rotate there on exit. Not going to be the best for him. 20.708 the second time by. Chris Goins sits in the 16th spot. Mark Truxell back for the action here. Number 5, Little Tate's Cupcakes entry. 20.545 the first time by. Again, this is really just setting the field for the heats. All goes well, should split our entries into 2 separate heats. That will set the field for our feature. 20.975 the second lap for Truxell. Few drivers yet to make a lap here. Eddie Rose, Matt Kopp, Doug Wysocki. Want to make mention the number 83 machine, typically driven by Brandon Mefford here tonight. That will be occupied by Troy Radford. Last-minute sub driver. Mefford unable to make it here tonight. With that said, Radford will need to start from pit lane tonight. Just a few minutes officially left in the session here. We're going to jump out and get one more break out of the way. We'll be back with our starting grid after this.
I met Marco Scarza when we were doing radiothons for St. Jude Children's Research Hospital. We needed sponsors to help us raise money, and he's always the first one to jump in. I would describe Marcos and his team as upstanding, someone you can trust, and he is just a genuine guy.
Marcos has been very generous. He has a genuine concern for people. You need somebody that cares about you. And that's what Marcos is, and that's pretty much what this firm is.
The Garza Law Firm. Let us help.
Back at Eldora Speedway, starting grid for heat number 1. Drew Blaze on the pole, Joe Tucker, then it's Mike Fahey, Chris Mefford rounding out row number 2, Eric Beadle 5th, Jeremy Paris P6, 7th goes to Kevin McCann, 8th starter is going to be Mark Truxell, 9th Drew Prale, Chris Elliott starts in the 10th spot, Mark Thomas 11th, Matt Kopp 12th, and Eddie Rose at number 88, he'll roll from the 13th position. That is for heat number 1 of 2. Field assembled there on pit lane, getting ready to roll out here. I think we do have 2 pace laps tonight.
Drew Blaze is going to be awful tough to beat here with his background.
Yeah, 100%. Blaze has been running a lot of officials this week on dirt in the truck, but I believe that was at Bristol. Definitely getting the reps in for sure. So with that said, I'm going to take Drew Blaze to win heat number 1.
That would have been my pick.
I gave you time.
I thought we was doing it at the feature, so
This is
I'll
practice.
take Fahey.
We'll call it practice runs.
Practice runs, okay. I'll take Fahey.
Field rolls on a 4. Green flag waves. We're underway from Eldora.
Well, he's got a good start right there. For second place. Ooh, somebody in the wall early. They're able to keep coming down in front of everybody. So good job there.
Drew Blaze up to the top side already here. Complete lap number 1. He'll lead it.
Wall, but I think everything's going to work out. As Blaze looks like he may be
we got big trouble on the front
Really
stretch here.
good job. Tell me about your race car. What do you need?
Caution on the speedway. So we're having some issues with the overlay here. Dirt not cooperating, but it looks like Jeremy Paris, Chris Mefford, the first involved in this. Let's take a look at it. Paris and Mefford. Mefford just kind of got in the fence, and Paris started to come up, kind of pinched himself there. Not much he could do. Then things get a little more carried away on the exit. Mefford gets into the inside of the 24 and spins these guys in front of everybody else. And caution laps during the heat do not count. They will count during the feature.
Yeah, I mean, this is just, a lot of these guys don't run dirt a lot, so you never know what we're going to see here, but I know everybody's put in the practice to try to get the hang of it this week.
So working our first caution of the heat. Again, pay no mind to the timing tower. It says our 0th caution. Don't even know if that's even a real thing, but
That's no cautions.
it is our first caution.
Looks like they're lining up already. Don't take long here.
Definitely not a waste of time. Not much to clear. Get guys back up and running side by side, 2 by 2 as we get ready to go back under the green flag. So you know what? Let's go on board Drew Blaze here during this restart. Watch how he gets things done as we come to green.
Green, green, green.
13's all over him.
Joe Tucker all over the back bumper of Drew Blaze. Blaze, though, dives it deep into the corner, able to put the power down. Tucker hanging tough, though.
Man, he's fast in the middle and on the exit.
Kevin McCann, the number 42 machine, still rocking the throwback paint scheme. I gotta admit, I kind of like it.
He's trying to work his way up and get as close as he can for the features. These guys, man, what control they have.
Eric Beadle having a solid run there in the 4th position, holding off Kevin McCann. Tucked in behind Mike Fahey. Fahey in the fence just a bit, gets a little crossed up, slides it up the racetrack. McCann in the fence. Tries to avoid contact with the 19, drops it way to the bottom, trying the slide job.
119's going to try it right back.
Eric
Little
Beadle.
crossover.
Eric Beadle says he's not good on dirt, but that's pretty much his background. He was relatively new to the asphalt side of things. Makes contact with Kevin McCann. McCann comes up the track. They both get away with it, but Kevin's going to take the spot away. Beadle back to P5. 7 laps to go in the feature. Blaze with about a 2-second advantage over Joe Tucker.
Truxell got his hands full with the 80 right now as they battle.
Drew Prowl running in that 6th position. Now Truxell takes it back on the high side. Chris Elliott in the mix as well. Number 29 truck, then Chris Mefford. Number 46 machine in behind him. Big battle for position. Further forward, though, Mike Fahey's got company. It's Kevin McCann. This is for the 3rd spot.
Hands right there. We'll see if he can maybe get under him or maybe get a run and in the wall a little bit there.
Just as we go on board with the 42, gets a piece of the outside wall. Still didn't lose a whole lot of ground to the 19 of Mike Fahey. He got a turn 4. Laps ticking down, gets the fence again. Caution on the speedway. What do we got? Chris Mefford may be in trouble. Yes, and Chris Elliott. This is going to set us up, I think, for a bit of a shootout to the finish.
We know what that means.
Now, this is not our first caution. This is our 2nd caution. And Overlay's kind of acting up. Apparently cannot count to 1 or 2 for that matter. Let's see what happened here under the yellow flag. Chris Mefford, Chris Elliott appears to be the ones involved. Back this up a little further, get a better look at it. Drew Prowl, Chris Mefford, both in that top lane. Just a tiny bit of contact to Prowl. Mefford tries to come to the bottom, but Elliott sliding up the track. He gets to the inside of Mefford. Then you got the 50 of Mark Thomas. Definitely foreign territory for Mark Thomas. Mark's certainly an accomplished road racer, but having his hand here on the oval side of things, doing well there as well. But dirt, different animal altogether as you see him get caught up in that. But he picks up a couple of spots that he may be able to hang on to here, just given the circumstances and the amount of laps that we don't have left.
Yeah, I think we're going to have a real big shootout. There are going to be some fenders flaring right here.
I guess the question is, I know we've got X amount of green-white checkers for the feature, but how does it apply to the heats? Do they get the green-white checker if it needed or not? I know we've got caution laps not counting, but does it have to finish under green?
Oh.
Guess we'll find out. Things could get a little hairy here as the Race is ticking down here in the heat, coming to 2 to go.
Green flag, green flag.
Looks like it's
green
single
flag.
file restarts. Drew Blaze gets on it quick.
Drew Prowl way to the bottom. Drew Blaze working the top side, found the cushion, gets a piece of the wall, bounces off. Joe Tucker hangs tough with it. White flag in the air, final lap here from Eldora, heat number 1.
I think Drew Blaze is going to get this one.
Checkered flag waving for Drew Blaze out of turn 4. Heat number 1 belongs to the 1. So results for Heat 1 here. We have Drew Blaze, Joe Tucker, Mike Fahey, Kevin McCann, Eric Beadle, Drew Prowl, Mark Truxell, Mark Thomas, Chris Elliott, Chris Mefford, Matt Kopp, Eddie Rose, and Jeremy Paris. Now our starting grid for Heat number 2. On the pole, it's the number 21 of Jesse Redding. Outside front row, it's going to be Brian Rose. Zach Millett, row number 2. Watch him. Brian McCann, outside of Millett in P4. He's going to be one to watch as well. Neil Quick with Quick Esports. He starts 5th. Troy Radford filling in for Brandon Mefford. He'll start P6. Alfie Charon 7th. Chris Goins P8. Will Hewitt will start 9th. Noah Rainwater from Thunderclap Racing will start P10. Carson Conway 11th. Doug Wysocki rolls from the 12th starting position. So heat number 2, about to get underway here from Eldora. Working the back stretch here. I think 2 pace laps once again.
Who's your pick this time?
I'm going to go Brian Rose. Might be a different Brian, but I'm going to go with Rose.
I'm going to go Neil Quick.
Neil Quick in the 2, also still sporting throwback paint scheme, is Rusty Wallace old midnight paint scheme.
Well, if I'd known he had the Rusty car, I wouldn't have picked him.
Jesse Redding, the number 21, is going to hold him down here. Pace truck off the racetrack.
Green flag.
Already a little touch of the wall as they get the green flag.
Brian Rose takes the top spot. Brian McCann quickly up into the 2nd position behind the 89.
Right McCann slung it in there right there, just wasn't able to complete it.
He's got Zach Millett to his outside, though. Millett noses out into the 2nd position. Not quite clear yet, but he might have the drive out of the corner. He does.
Anytime we've seen anybody go low, they haven't been able to really do anything. It's, you know, our leaders dropped back from being low, and Neil Quick just tried on the low side and couldn't get nowhere.
Both Millett and McCann get a piece of the outside wall on exit. 12 laps to go, heat number 2.
These trucks definitely taking the abuse. They're built tough for this track.
Well, it's certainly aero not coming into play hardly at all, if at all, here on a dirt track like Eldora. Certainly beef them up a bit to handle some of those impacts. They're going to run into each other. They're going to get a piece of the wall. Man, Millett is fast. He's right there to the back bumper of Brian Rose.
Yeah, it looked like he had to check up right there to keep from getting into him.
Millett about a 1/10.5 faster than Rose that last time by.
With the line Brian's running, though, I think it's going to make it hard for Millet to make a move on him. I mean, we haven't seen anybody really use the bottom to pass.
Well, he's really going to have to work the slide job. He's going to have to get the run out of the corner. But a place like Eldora, it's, at least in the truck, it's hard to do that. You got to get the run, dive it down to the bottom, kind of slide up in front of the guy you're passing. Expect contact in doing that.
Right now, he's probably doing one of the best things, though. I mean, I know Brian's put in the practice, he always does, but, you know, he's probably not someone that has as much experience on dirt as some of these other guys, and Millet's just feeling he's mirrorful, trying to make him make a mistake.
You know, it's funny, too, because in many cases, we've heard this on Brian Rose a lot. Millet getting a big piece of the wall there. That's not by design at all. Scrapes the right front almost all the way around. But a lot of the tracks that Brian Rose does not like, you tend to see him run out front. You know, New Hampshire Motor Speedway being one of them. He's won a race there last season. I think it was in the Superior Class Auto Racing Series. The last thing he wanted to do was race at New Hampshire. He ended up taking the win. And he said it tonight about Eldora. He's like, I don't like this place. I don't want to be here. I don't want to do this. And here he is running out front.
And, you know, just knowing Brian personally and on here, I think that the thing with him is he puts in the time that week coming up to the race, and he's kind of got the mentality, okay, I'm going to go out here and try to get a top 5, when actually, you know, like you said, he's been able to compete for wins and win with that mentality.
I think in a lot of cases, you come into a place that you just don't like. If you put the time into the practice, it kind of takes the pressure away. Yeah, I've got the practice. You know, this is what I got. Maybe I'll get a top 10 out of this, but there's no pressure. There's no pressure to perform. There's no pressure for that win. So you can just kind of go out there, run your race, throw down what you learned, and go from there. And usually, it pays off for Brian Rose.
Yeah, he's doing a fantastic job. The 3 truck looks like it may be the fastest right now, but I don't know if the 3's going to have time.
Last time by was 1975 to Brian Rose's 1974.
Ooh, I was wrong then.
Only 100th of a second. We're not talking about much.
It looked like he was catching him as he gets in the wall there and going to lose some time. Looks like a little block of maybe going on with these two.
Couple laps to go here from Eldora. Brian Rose still out in front, holding off a hard charging Zach Millet. White flag in the air. Final lap. Brian Rose dives it down into 3 and 4. He's got the lead over Zach Millet. Just needs to get the power down on exit. Checkered flag waves. Brian Rose wins heat number 2.
That's a great job by him, too. I mean, he had a mirror full of Millet there for a bunch of laps and was able to keep his composure and keep it under control.
Definitely earned that one. Millet was quick. Raced him clean, which is key. That may not necessarily be the factor for everybody in this race tonight. We shall see. But again, take a look at our Heat 2 results. Of course, it was Brian Rose with the win. Zach Millet, Brian McCann, Neil Quick, Troy Radford, your top 5. Alfie Sharon, Will Hewitt, Jesse Redding, Noah Rainwater, Chris Goins, P10, Carson Conway, 11th. Doug Wysocki was 12th. We're in our warm-up session. We're going to jump out and get a quick break. We'll be back after this.
I met Marcos Garza when we were doing radiothons for St. Jude Children's Research Hospital. We needed sponsors to help us raise money, and he's always the first one to jump in. I would describe Marcos and his team as upstanding, someone you can trust, and he is just a genuine guy.
Marcos has been very generous. He has a genuine concern for people. You need somebody that cares about you. And that's what Marcos is, and that's pretty much what this firm is.
The Garza Law Firm. Let us help.
but Lord, I can't stop feeling sorry for myself. I'm drowning on sorrow. Girl, want you and nobody else. I keep on looking every day and every night, but I just don't know where that baby of mine. Well, I just don't know. Have mercy, brother.
Checkered flag. Contact and Brian Rose wins it. A photo finish at the line. Oh, we got a wreck. Will Hewitt's through the trial for the final time, and oh, they're wrecking. Big trouble. Vincent Short sneaks through, and I think Short. Back at Eldora Speedway for the Noble Dirt Derby. Time for the feature, and on the pole position, it's Drew Blaze. The Lone Star Racing #1 starts P1. Outside front row with Holler Boys Racing, it's the HBRShops.com number 89 of Brian Rose. Starting third, Joe Tucker with Hostile Intent Gaming, the number 13. Zach Millett, also Holler Boys Racing, the 315 starts fourth. Mike Fahey with Lone Star Racing, the number 19 starts in the fifth spot with Brian McCann out of the IROC Series. Brian McCann Racing, the number 3, starts sixth. Brother Kevin McCann, the number 42, also from IROC. He'll roll from the 7th starting position. The 2 of Neil Quick with Quick Esports. He'll start 8th. Drew Beetle with Beetle Motorsports, the number 119, will roll from the 9th spot. 10th goes to the sub-driver Troy Radford, filling in for Brandon Mefford tonight, number 83. Drew Prale, he'll start 11th. Alfie Charon Jr., number 51. HBR Associate will start 12th. Mark Truxell with HLC Motorsports. Little Tate's Cupcakes, number 5, rolls 13th. 14th goes to the 33 of Will Hewitt. Mark Thomas will start 15th. Jesse Redding, 16th. Chris Elliott, the number 29, with Right Turn Racing, will start 17th. Noah Rainwater with Thunderclap will start 18th. 19th, Chris Mefford. Chris Goins, P20. Matt Kopp will roll 21st. Carson Conway, 22nd. Eddie Rose, 23rd. Doug Wysocki, 24th. Jeremy Paris with Speed Clinic Racing will start from the 25th position. Well, here it is, Eric. We're already into the feature. I guess I'll let you go first.
Let me go first. I'll take the number 1 of Drew Blaze.
I'm going to stick with Brian Rose. Well, you know what? I'll retract that statement. I'm going to go with Zach Millett, the 315. I already picked Brian, so he's off the list.
I mean, anybody in this field's really a good pick, especially these guys up front. I mean, anybody could win this.
Well, we're going to find out here. Base truck down, pit lane, green flag in hand. We're underway. We're racing in the Dirt Derby from Eldora.
See if Brian Rose can get a run and maybe stop Blaze from coming up. That didn't happen, but he may have a move here to go under him.
Oh, Millett trying to get the run on the outside. He gets in the fence, makes contact with Joe Tucker. Number 3 wide into turn number 3, like Fahey on the bottom. Maybe even 4 wide with Kevin McCann on the low side. Wow, big run for Millett out of 4. He got out of that hornet's nest in a hurry. Meanwhile, Drew Blaze starting to run away from these guys already. Quite the distance back to P2, Brian Rose.
These guys were everywhere.
Trying to get that jump, get out in clean air. I know it's not so much an aerodynamic conversation, but clean dirt, clean fill wanted. Drew Blaze has it.
I mean, you want to be the one that's setting the line here. That's definitely Drew Blaze right now. And Brian Rose seeing what he can do with Zach Millett right behind him.
Brian Rose comfortably into that second position. Then it's Zach Millett, P3. Plenty of damage in the back of that truck, though. Caution's on the speedway. We got big shake up here in the middle of 3 and 4. Is this 1 and 2? I think this is turns 1 and 2. Guys still piling in. A lot of drivers involved in this one. Let's see if we can catch what happened here. Too many to name, really. Mark Truxell on the bottom, Noah Rainwater in the 05 in the middle. They come together on corner exit. That's kind of where this might have kicked off. Looks like it's happening a little bit further in front. Yeah, it is. Alfie Charon. So that...
Maybe Alfie and Neil.
Let's back it up. We're not getting great timestamps here, but at least we got it. So Alfie Charon in the number 51 machine. You've got Neil Quick just ahead of him. Oh, Neil gets a big piece of the wall, and Alfie just slides into him.
Yeah, I'm not sure Alfie knew that Neil was going to kind of be there after him hitting the wall. It's like he kind of bounced off the wall and went right where Alfie was going.
But then you see the rest of these guys, they come piling in. Does Will Hewitt get through here? He does. Noah Rainwater clears. Truxell, he looks like he gets by. And Chris, no, he doesn't get by. He gets a piece of it. Chris Mefford comes in and drills him. Chris Goins gets a piece. 22, Matt Kopp comes in, gets a piece of him as well. Then the 34, Doug Wysocki. Caution was definitely out at that point. We saw it wave and we heard it called. The lights were flashing. Well, it is what it is. First caution here, 7 laps in now at Eldora. Getting ready for a restart already. Like you said earlier, Eric, it gets done in a hurry, which is good because we're back to racing here just after the replay. Restart for Drew Blaze. He's got Brian Rose to the outside. Zach Millett now in behind. We'll see if the HBR guys can do anything with Drew Blaze. Remains to be seen. It's going to be a tough one to beat tonight.
Absolutely. He set the pace so far. Brian Rose is right there on his back end. We'll see if Brian can maintain pace with him.
Let's go on board with Zach Millett.
And just, you know, look at how much he's fighting the wheel, how much steering is going into this when we ride on board with him. I mean, he's really fighting that wheel, and, you know, I've been behind it, you've been behind it on the dirt. I've come out of these dirt races sweating from fighting the wheel like this.
Oh, I come out of Talladega sweating. It doesn't matter where I'm at. Drew Blaze just kind of running away. A little over rotation for Brian Rose. Millett, a little under rotation, gets the outside wall. He's not going to be able to get away with that for very long. This trucks are only going to take so much damage. Continue to watch this battle for the second spot between teammates Brian Rose and Zach Millett. Close battle on track. Both drivers having their share of issues.
Here goes Millett, going to try to
Brian Rose in a wall.
up.
Crossover, slide job, the works.
Beating bang and still doing crossovers.
Yeah, Millett's going to have to be careful. It is awfully early on in this race to be pounding the right side of that truck in the fence the way that he is.
I thought they were together right there. I thought they were going to take each other out. Great job.
Millett's got Brian clear, though, starting to put some distance between himself and the 89 machine. Now we watch Neil Quick battling here with Will Hewitt. Hewitt just ahead in that 7th position. Having a good run so far, up 7 spots. Started in P14. Fresh off a disappointing race just recently. Now I'm scratching my brain. I think it might have been
Darlington.
No, not even No Bull. It was a neighboring series. He led the first half of the race and just got caught out on pit strategy. Still had a good finish, but man, he was gutted by it. I should remember this. It was just a few days ago. Oh, either way. Will Hewitt having a strong run so far here in Eldora as we continue to watch this battle. He's closing in on Brian McCann. In fact, he's to the inside.
Yeah, I mean, we've talked about that bottom side, that low side not working, and he's sitting there trying to make it work.
Well, I mean, we talked about it. If you look at least here in 1 and 2, you got 2 distinct grooves. There is a top lane and a bottom lane starting to come in. It is what's kind of neat about iRacing is that the track surface does evolve throughout the course of the event. So what you may not have had a low groove early on, well, now one's starting to show up. Whether it's the fastest, we don't know yet, but it becomes an option.
I know the 3 of Brian McCann took up real low last time in 1 and 2. We'll see if he does here, and he don't. He's kind of back up in the high groove there.
Now looking at the 3 of Brian McCann, the truck looks pretty clean. But look at Neil Quick. That thing's hammered already.
Well, Neil got involved in that accident, so some of it came from it. But you're right. He's used the wall a little bit too. It's part of dirt track racing.
Now, with that said, though, he's still hanging there in the 8th position. That's where he qualified, so it doesn't seem to be hurting his pace too much. Oh, and he gets into Will Hewitt, straightens him back out, continues on. Kevin McCann might go around. He does. Caution on the Speedway for the 2nd time today. You guys saw it happen live. It looked like it was between Will Hewitt and Neil Quick. Ended up straightening Hewitt out, but got a piece of the 42, send him around. Caution once again. Let's take a look, see what happened. Kevin just gets a small piece of the fence. That's not really going to contribute to anything here, but yeah, Hewitt goes up and pounds the wall. Comes down, gets a little piece of Neil Quick. McCann's trying to get checked up. He just runs into the back of the 33, and then Mefford comes in and finishes him off. Actually, it was Troy Radford, not Mefford in this case.
Yeah, I mean, not much you can do there.
Certainly a tough break, though. Kevin McCann probably not very happy about that situation, but stays on a lead lap. Still has some damage, but we saw even with Neil Quick, that damage not likely to hurt him too terribly much. Quick's able to hang in the top 10 there considering his damage. And we're already approaching halfway, so this race is ticking by in a hurry. Eddie Rose getting the wave by here. Got a couple of you guys in the stream chat. Of course, Kyle Newick cheering on, I'm guessing Noah Rainwater. Tristan Sykes. Me and Eric talked about it earlier, but this is one I had a shot at. Computer crapped itself again. The universe hates me. Tough break, Tristan. You've had some pretty bad luck, man, but hopefully get that squared away here. Maybe get some new PC. Put it on the credit card. It'll be fine. You got Fear Gamed cheering on 13 to Joe Tucker. So we get ready to go back to the green flag.
Green flag.
Green waves. We're back underway.
Drew Blaze off to another good start. We'll see if Miller can maybe block him, slide it up in front of him.
Yeah, Neil Quick in that fence again. Brian McCann finally getting the right sides in the fence.
Millett in the fence coming out of the turn there.
Even Drew Blaze getting a piece of the wall. Oh, Kevin McCann gets into it again there. Contact, I think that might have been with Mark Thomas. Inadvertent, it seems. Kevin McCann mired back in the 14th spot.
trying to make that low side work, but I feel like you just lose so much momentum coming out of the corners.
Yeah, I mean, the key really is get the right rear of that truck just inches off the wall, off exit.
There will be a caution.
Cautions on the speedway once again. Not getting an indication as to what has caused it at this point. I don't know if we just had an oops on the button. We're using admin cautions tonight, so there is no iRacing related yellows, but I don't see any reason for it. I don't think we were having a halfway break unless it was just discussed and I wasn't made aware. I wasn't told of one. I did ask about that pre-race, but nevertheless, it gives us a chance to take a quick break here. We're going to step aside. We're going to go HBR TV side by side, regardless of the caution, just in case. We don't want you guys to miss anything. So stay with us. We'll be right back.
I met Marco Scarza when we were doing radiothons for St. Jude Children's Research Hospital. We needed sponsors to help us raise money, and he's always the first one to jump in. I would describe Marcos and his team as upstanding, someone you can trust, and he is just a genuine guy.
Marcos has been very generous. He has a genuine concern for people. You need somebody that cares about you. And that's what Marcos is, and that's pretty much what this firm is.
The Garza Law Firm. Let us help.
Back under the green flag here at Eldora Speedway. Drew Blaze, to no one's surprise, jumps out to the front. And Brian Rose has got to challenge Joe Tucker on the outside, gets into the fence. Top three, Blaze, Millett, and Rose, with Brian McCann pressing for the third spot. Joe Tucker gets crossed up out of four. More contact with Neil Quick. Don't know who he made contact with, and we got some cars around. Troy Radford, Chris Mefford, and Joe Tucker, Jesse Redding, Kopp, and Gones, all involved. At least this caution, we know what it's for. I still don't know what the last one was, but very obvious now. We can see what happened. Of course, Haley jumping into the stream chat, having to get up extra early tomorrow. I still don't know how she does it. Again, she lives in Sweden, guys, and she comes here and watches almost every single one of these HBR TV races. I don't know what time it is there, but you can Google it and figure it out for yourself. She's watching these things almost every night, 5 nights a week. HBR TV fan number one. Most of the time, she's my unofficial marketing director, telling everybody to like, share, and follow the stream in the middle of the race, because I can't even remember to do it.
It's only 3:10 a.m. there.
Oh, only? Okay.
Only.
Jeez.
I'd be counting sheep.
Good Lord. She's a diehard. We're trying to figure out a way to get her a t-shirt, but she's got to find us on Facebook and send us a message. Or maybe I should just post the Discord and get her in the Discord. She's official at this point. We can get her in here.
Absolutely.
Haley, send us a message on Facebook if you're not already in bed one of these nights. It's HBR TV. I'm sorry, Facebook.com/HBRTV1. I don't even know anymore because usually we use the YouTube side, but you can find us through HBRTV1.com. The link is there. Send us a message. We'll figure it out. 17 laps to go here from Eldora. Lights on the pace truck are out, so look at that. Quick like a bunny. A little late for Easter, but we're ready to go back to green.
I think Millett's going to try to time the start right here.
You know, I don't want to say he can't do it, because anything iRacing related, he can do it.
Green flag.
I just don't think anybody's going to beat Drew Blaze tonight. He has just got the truck. He's got the background. He's got the clean air / dirt out in front of him. But Millett with a good run through 1 and 2. He's right there.
He's gonna have an opportunity, I think, to maybe try something. Blaze is running a totally different line than, you know, our top three. He kind of goes in a little bit lower and drifts some.
Well, it's like he's diamonding the corner. He goes in a little low, comes out high, and stays up to the top lane, though.
I think it's kept him out of the wall a little bit more than these other guys, too.
Blaze running away from Zach Millett. 3 truck lengths between himself and the 315. Brian McCann trying to roll up there as well. Brian Rose holding steady. Slow moving Will Hewitt out of the corner. Gets back to the throttle. He's back in action.
These guys are 3 wide back here.
2 rows, 3 wide. Contact made. They all get through it. Hewitt, Tucker, Troy Radford to the inside. Sends the 33 up the racetrack. Tucker up the racetrack in the fence. 13 laps to go. Caution on the speedway. Kopp possibly? Yes, Matt Kopp slow on the bottom. In fact, he is stopped at the bottom. A little bit of nose damage on that machine. Let's see what happened. Put us under the yellow again. Looks like Kopp gets into the back of Eddie Rose. Let's rewind this a little bit further and see exactly what happened here. Eddie to slide up the track. Let's go on board with Kopp. Ooh, Eddie just slides up the track, gets loose. Of course, it breaks his own momentum. Kopp trying to check up. You get on the brakes in that situation, it sends you down the racetrack. There you have it.
It's a square body now.
Yeah. Those ones were better anyway.
That's your generation.
Hey, what are you trying to say here? Come on. I'm not that much older than you, am I?
I don't know.
How old are you?
34.
Oh, I only got 6 years on you.
That's a lot of days, though. That's
Yeah.
what. That's over 1,800 days.
You get out of bed slow in the morning, too. Trust me. Guarantee it. Back popping, feet cracking. All sorts of moaning and groaning going on. Getting ready for the day. It only gets worse, my friend. It only gets worse. All right, formed up 2x2. Once again, coming to 9 laps to go to settle it here from Eldora, the Noble Dirt Derby. Drew Blaze led every lap so far at the stripe. He's got the lead down into 1. Millett takes the high side. Blaze goes way to the bottom. He's going to have a whale of a run out of 2. Does he have enough to make the pass? Has to check up. Can't get it to the inside. They worked on the backstretch. Millett gets a piece of the wall on the entry to 3. Takes the spot from McCann, though, and Drew Blaze gets hard into the fence.
Drew Blaze has just been fast no matter what. It's going to be tough to pass him.
Crazy action here in the mid to the back part of the pack. These guys are battling hard, 3 wide many times through the corners. Banging off doors, beating in fenders. Neil Quick. Or is that Neil Quick? No, that's Brian McCann. Trying to battle around Mike Fahey, take that position away. McCann running in P5. Blaze still with the lead, 6 laps to go. Brian McCann just pounded that outside wall. Guys are trying to get the right side of that truck, right in that loose dirt up top. That's where that grip is. McCann goes to the bottom, Fahey up top. Fahey in the fence, crossover from the 19. A little bit of door slam out of 2.
That looked like a pretty good door slam, but they both kept it under.
Switch sides again. McCann back to the bottom. Big impact on the outside wall for Fahey. Huge slide job for Brian McCann. He gets up into the fence. Does he go around? He does. Brian McCann loops it by himself.
That's our points leader coming in.
Single truck spin, no caution. 3 laps to go. Drew Blaze well in command. A second and a half back to Zach Millett. Brian Rose runs in P3. Mike Fahey fourth. Truxell and Rainwater battling for position, though not on the lead lap. Will Hewitt gets a piece of the wall in front of Radford. Again, Troy Radford in the number 83, that black and white truck typically driven by Brandon Mefford. Mefford unable to make it tonight, substitute driver. Radford had to start from pit lane tonight. Having a good go of it, though. Solid top 10 finish in the works here. 1 lap to go. Drew Blaze, I think he led every lap here tonight off of turn number 4. He's going to win the Noble Dirt Derby from Eldora. Takes the checkered flag. Zach Miller, a hard-fought P2. Brian Rose brings it home in the 3rd spot. Man, that was over in a hurry. Brian Rose said, tonight's going to be a quick one, even with the cautions. It's going to be fast. Millett coming in to congratulate Drew Blaze. Looks like Blaze is going to go right to victory lane. So it's kind of cool.
Think he's been here a time or two?
Once or twice.
He knew exactly where it was.
Sure did. Drew Blaze parks it in victory lane. Zach Millett, Brian Rose, top 3, parking it right there, and Mike Fahey.
What's Fahey?
Well, he painted the truck, I think, so.
So that gives him rights to victory lane.
Nice job by all these guys. I know we got this one done quick, but this was actually an exciting race. I had mixed emotions about it coming into tonight. These dirt races, not my favorite, not my cup of tea, but this was a good one to watch. Not a whole lot of battling for the top spot, but plenty of action throughout the field. Drew Blaze, your race winner. Zach Millett, then Brian Rose, your top 3. We're going to jump out and get those top 3 into the HBR TV booth. After this break, stay with us.
I met Marcos Garza when we were doing radiothons for St. Jude Children's Research Hospital. We needed sponsors to help us raise money, and he's always the first one to jump in. I would describe Marcos and his team as upstanding, someone you can trust, and he is just a genuine guy.
Marcos has been very generous. He has a genuine concern for people. You need somebody that cares about you. And that's what Marcos is, and that's pretty much what this firm is.
The Garza Law Firm. Let us help.
Welcome back, ladies and gentlemen, to Eldora Speedway. Drew Blaze, your race winner here in the No Bull Dirt Derby. Dominating performance. We kind of expected that. Eric actually has a win on the season finally, so let's get Drew Blaze up into the booth and get a word with our race winner. Drew Blaze, it's Steve and Eric in the HBR TV broadcast booth. You with us?
Yes, sir.
Drew, we kind of expected this, you to come in here and wipe the floor with these guys, but either way, it's a skill set. You've certainly learned it. You've earned the win here tonight. Dominating performance. Tell us about the strategy, your thoughts coming in. Did you think it was going to be this easy, or walk us through your race, man?
I wasn't sure. There's a lot of talent in this league here, so I wasn't sure if I was going to run away with it or not, but, just kind of pretty much running up top is all I did, try to keep the top, and then on the restarts I would make sure I could clear the slider going into one, and pretty much just the same thing, and didn't seem like anybody could really keep up that much. I know Miller was kind of keeping up there, but I just after like halfway through the race, I was like, okay, this is going to be a little easier than I thought.
Well, certainly an impressive run, nevertheless. Seeing you out in the wind there. A little bit of right rear damage, but the rest of the truck looks pretty good, especially compared to most of the field. A lot of these guys banging doors, banging fenders, getting into the wall most of this race. Walk us through the restarts. I mean, was that really kind of the only time there was any kind of concern about, all right, I got to nail this and get out of here, or were you kind of comfortable there?
Yeah. I mean, it was a little nerve-wracking because I knew the outside guy, especially Miller there, he was really keeping up with me on the start, so I just kind of threw the Hail Mary every time in the one and made sure I could clear him, and you really not enough drive or grip to get back under me, so I knew if I just kept throwing that kind of slide job into one and was clear, I knew nobody was really going to get past me, and then I think everybody else was kind of running the wall in 3 and 4, but I was running that real fine slider line. That's what I felt comfortable doing versus just sticking it up there on the wall.
Well, nevertheless, we'll take your word for it. You definitely earned it. You won the race. Your method of doing it paid off for sure. Next week, though, no dirt. We go down to South Florida, Homestead Miami Speedway. How do you feel about Homestead and your chances to have 2 in a row?
I feel pretty good. I love Homestead. I know a lot of guys, especially a few guys on my team, they're not too fond of Homestead and the tire wear and how slippery it can be, but I love it. You can run up against the wall, run the bottom, run the middle. It's a very multi-groove track, and it's ideally what you look for as a race car driver. So very excited. Not sure if I can pick up a win there. There's a ton of talented guys in this league, and I knew this was my best shot to win here, so I did take that opportunity.
While we do this interview, we do have an in-car camera finally on you as the driver, and admiring the new fire suit here tonight with the red tie and the sport coat.
Yeah, just rocking out, dude. You got to stay classy while you're in the truck.
All right, Drew. Well, again, congratulations on the win here tonight at Eldora. Who do you want to shout out to before we let you go?
I think Lone Star Racing, Garza Law Firm, Mike Fahey, Justin Johnson, Bill Molfeld, everybody on my team, everybody out there who supports me day in and day out, and thank you for putting on the broadcast, and thanks to Noble guys for putting on the league.
All right, Drew. Congratulations again, man. Good luck next week. Thanks for talking to us.
Thank you.
It's Drew Blaze, your race winner here from Eldora. Next, we're going to talk to that S4 guy, Zach Millett. We'll get a word from the driver. That S4 guy, Silverado. It's Zach Millett. It's Steve and Eric in the booth. You with us?
Hey, you guys, got a copy.
Congratulations, P2. I know it's almost like a win when you run second to Drew Blaze. You put that guy on dirt. He's certainly going to be the one to beat. Walk us through your race. Was there anything you had left in the tank, in the bag, that you could have kind of put to practice to run down Drew Blaze and maybe take this win? Was it just more laps, or were you just settling for that second place today?
I hate to say it, man, but I was kind of settling for second. I kind of just accepted it. Drew is killer on dirt, man. He's really, really damn good at it. And even you could probably see it in the restarts. I could have maybe dove it off 2, went low on him, but I mean, I think it was smarter to keep my top line, keep the preferred line, because once you go low, man, you lose so much momentum when you finally do drift up the track. So yeah, he's he's fast here. It's big congrats to him. Really happy how the HBR guys ran tonight. Come heat time, I got behind Brian. I think I was a little faster, but same thing. I didn't want to dive it in there, ruin both our race, and then when it came to race time, he returned the favor and kind of let me pass there early, and kind of how we finished.
Yeah, it's kind of, me and Eric kind of mentioned the same thing to each other. We watched you guys battle it out when Rose was running in P2. You were about a tenth and a half quicker than Brian at the time, but it just seemed a little bit passive on your part. Didn't want to rough up a teammate, so job well done there, taking care of him. He took care of you later on. He still finishes in the P3 position. So, again, a solid night for you guys, so congratulations.
Thanks, man. Yeah, it was a good race. I'm glad we finished 2-3. Man, we put in a lot of practice, so, we were just talking at the end of the race there how this really feels like a win for both of us. So, yeah, we're pretty pumped, man.
Well earned, certainly. You guys put forth the effort and the work throughout the course of the week. It starts all over again here tomorrow. Next week we go to Homestead Miami Speedway. Certainly not a dirt track by any means. How do you feel about Homestead? I'm pretty sure it's one of your tracks that you kind of like to run at. Is that correct?
Oh, yeah, I love Homestead. One thing that I'm looking forward to more than actually going to Homestead to race is listening to Brian Rose talk about Homestead, because he hates it. Well, and I can't wait for that.
Better be careful with that, because me and Eric talked about it early in the broadcast as well. Is the tracks that Brian Rose, quote unquote, hates, he is almost always a top 3 contender. You talk about New Hampshire Motor Speedway last season in the Spirit Class Auto Racing League. He ended up taking the victory over Bobby Hamilton Jr. there last year, and he hated it. He didn't even want to run that race, and he ended up winning it. So don't discredit the driver of that number 89 machine next week, because maybe you're going to have to pass him for the win. You don't know.
Well, I wouldn't mind a bit if we're both running up there, but I hope Vince Short makes it too. He's real good there too.
Certainly the case. Again, congratulations, Zach, on a second place finish here tonight. Who do you want to shout out to before we let you go?
I want to thank you, Steve, and Eric for HBR TV for the broadcast. Want to thank Fahey Race Wraps for the truck. Got to thank Track Bar Media, HBR team, everybody in it. It's awesome to turn laps with these guys every week. I look forward to racing every single week. Eric Dotson State Farm, Castle Products, HBRshop.com. We got a lot of new stuff over there. Brian's been working hard on that. Yeah, go over there, check it out. We got pretty much stuff for everybody, man. It's awesome. And shoot me a follow over on Twitch at ThatS4Guy.
All right, Zach. Again, congratulations. Thanks for talking to us. Good luck next week.
Thanks, guys.
Zach Millett, your runner-up here at Eldora. Next is Brian Rose, driver of the number 89 HBRshops.com machine. Pull our third place finisher into the broadcast booth as soon as I can find the darn channel. Brian Rose, it's Steve and Eric in the booth. You got us?
Yeah, I'm here, Steve.
Brian, congratulations, man. P3, ran up in that second position for a while, sniffed the front for a little bit. A solid run tonight for that HBRshops.com machine. Tell us about your race.
Hey, a lot of people are going to say that, we don't belong on dirt, and I was real worried coming into this, and I was real worried about coming into this, but we needed 2 wild cards in the playoffs, and here in Talladega was one of them. And if you look at it, it definitely tightened up the points. But yeah, man, this HBRshops.com, Track Bar Media Ford, we were pretty good all night long. Once the track slicked off, my hands weren't fast enough for this. Congratulations to Drew Blaze. We knew he was going to be super fast all night long, and yeah, just needed to get up front. That was the whole plan for the night, just to get up front. We knew there'd be some cautions, and just try to stay ahead of those.
Well, anybody that knows me knows I'm not a fan of dirt, so I make a little bit of a joke, but I have to say that this race was a good race to watch. Not necessarily battles for the lead, but battles all over the racetrack. Watched yourself and teammate Zach Millett fight for that second spot for a while, put on a good show, a clean battle at that. You guys made it work, so well done by yourself and all your admins here in the No Bull Racing Series.
Yeah, and we'll come back out next week. I know we gained some spots on on P1 there in the standings, and that's what we came in here to try to do tonight, and I think we accomplished that. I'm not sure where everybody finished, but good job to Zach and everybody at HBR getting out here this week and grinding it out, knowing that this is going to be a challenge for everybody. So, but congratulations to Drew Blaze and Zach, podium finishes, and we'll get back at it next week and go and try to close back in on the lead.
So somewhat of a comfortable position coming out of here with a P3 finish at Eldora, rolling into Homestead Miami Speedway, a place that's not really at the top of your list. How do you feel about next week at Homestead?
If we can overcome this, we can overcome Miami. All you got to do is get out there. You got the best team in HBR to get out there and actually learn from. We'll put in some work this week. It's not one of my favorite tracks, but neither was Darlington, and we came away with a good, clean truck and a solid top 5 finish. So if we can do it at Darlington and do it on dirt, we can do it there too.
All right, Brian. Well, again, congratulations, man. A top 3 finish here on the dirt. We're going to let you go, man. Who do you want to shout out to?
Always everybody at HBR TV, Noble. It's coming down to the end of the season. Everybody's, tempers are high. But Track Bar Media, Eric Dotson, State Farm, Castle, my family, everybody who gets in here and works there all week and busts their butts to put on this show. Appreciate everybody and hope everybody liked to watch it.
All right, Brian. Well, good luck next week at South Beach, man. Thanks for talking to us.
Thank you, guys.
It's Brian Rose, your third place finisher here at Eldora. It's going to wrap it up for our interview portion of the evening. Let's take a look at our race results. Of course, we talked to our top 3, Drew Blaze, Zach Millett, Brian Rose, and Mike Fahey with a solid top 5 in 4th. Neil Quick brought it home in P5, damaged truck and all. Chris Elliott was 6th. Kevin McCann, P7, after some struggles early on. Will Hewitt was 8th. Troy Radford subbing for Brandon Mefford. A solid substitute run there in P9. Mark Thomas was 10th, the old Brit, in the top 10. Good job, Mark Thomas. Chris Goins, P11. 12th went to Joe Tucker. Brian McCann was 13th. This is accurate information? I'm just double checking. I didn't realize Brian McCann had slipped that far back. Not sure what happened with the 3 truck as he was a battle in the top 5 all night long. Matt Kopp, though, finished 14th. Noah Rainwater was 15th. 16th finisher was Mark Truxell. Eddie Rose, P17. Carson Conway, 18th. Chris Mefford was 19th. Jesse Redding, 20th. Alfie Charon, 21st. Drew Prowl was 22nd. Eric Beadle, 23rd. Doug Wysocki, P24. Jeremy Paris, 25th. 50 laps down out of this one, I think, on the very first lap. Tough break for Jeremy Paris. Regroup and try it again next week at Homestead Miami Speedway, but that is going to wrap it up for us here at Eldora. Eric, again, thanks for joining me in the broadcast booth. It's been a couple of weeks. I'm glad you had a good Easter. Last but not least here, let's hear your side of tonight's race. I know dirt racing is not my thing, but how does it stack up for you?
It's really not mine either, but I probably like it a little bit better than you do. But I thought it was a good race, and these guys done a fantastic job. I know they got into each other some, but for the most part, done a great job. And it's all about the points, as Brian was talking about. A lot of people had to make some moves here, and they did. So off to Miami.
Certainly off to Miami next week here for the Noble Racing Series, but that is not all. We've got other races throughout the course of the week. 4 more to speak of before we get to Homestead Miami Speedway. Join us tomorrow night, Monday night, for the Lone Star Racing GT3 Series. We're going to be running at Laguna Seca, Monterey, California, for that event tomorrow night about, 8:45 in the p.m. Eastern Time. Tune in for that if you want to check it out. Tuesdays, we've got the Numb Thumbs Racing League. Wednesday, we've got the Black Horizon Truck Series, and they're running at the big track at the Indianapolis Motor Speedway. And then Thursday, Lone Star Racing once again in their Cup Series. So make sure you guys tune in for it here. Everything at HBR TV, youtube.com/@HBRTV1. Or if you can't remember that, it's very simple, HBRTV1.com. Both hot links are there for Facebook and YouTube. Check us out. That page will eventually be the home for all live races, but we're still working on that. But it's going to wrap it up for us here at Eldora Speedway. For Eric Dotson, I'm Steve Singer, congratulating Drew Blaze on a race win, the Noble Dirt Derby. Thanks for watching, guys. We'll see you next week.